Hi, this is Joe from Students in Aviation, and today we're going to do a quick lesson on how to take off in the SIA Sim. So it's a Cessna 172. It's got very specific V speeds, we call V speeds, for taking off and things that we want to do. So one of the things you're going to notice when you do take off in most general aviation aircrafts, especially the single engine ones, they're going to want to turn to the left as you go down the runway. That's called left turning tendency. And there's several different things that conspire against the pilot to cause the aircraft to want to swing to the left. We won't go into that in detail, but the FAA has got some really good materials that describe left turning tendencies in details. You can look at the Airplane Flying Handbook is a really good one to review there, and they go into some of the details. And the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge is another one. Again, they go into much greater detail in that. So all right, so the first thing we want to do before we actually take off, we're on the runway right now, so we want to make sure there's nobody around. I can, check look left and right here, by squeezing our little trigger buttons on the left and right side. So that's the left side, and squeeze that over there. Nobody around us there. Okay, so before we take off, we have to disengage the parking brake. So I'll look down here, and you can see the parking brake is disengaged. All right. And here, by the way, this scenario is just Alt 2. So if I hold on my Alt key and tap 2, it'll bring this scenario up. This is, again, taking off runway 36 at Reedsburg. Okay, so I sit back in my seat here. Again, we're going to look down, and our parking brake is on, so I'm going to tap my parking brake here. And then I'm going to tap my white button here to get us back into the pilot seat again. All right, so now the parking brake's off. I'm going to hold the brakes just by rotating my toe brakes forward like that. You can see that? So I'm not pushing them like this. I'm actually rotating the parking brakes like this. Now I can apply full power, and the plane's not going to go anywhere. That's our brakes on the mains there, and they're differential too, so you can use them differently. You can apply left brake or right brake only. In this case, I'm applying both of them. Before I take off on any flight, in real or with a sim, I'm going to apply a little bit of power here, and just make sure that our gauges all look good. We don't have any problems with the engine. Engine sounds good there. I'm looking here. There's our fuel. It's good. I checked it before the flight. IGT looks good. Fuel flow is looking good. We've got probably the most critical thing here, the oil temperature and pressure. We have to have those, and then we've got good vacuum, and then obviously we've got current going to our battery there. All right, so now we're ready to actually take off, so I'm going to go ahead and apply full power like this. Usually you want to apply it within 2 to 3 seconds. You should have that throttle all the way forward. And let's see if I can straighten up. I'm already doing the left turning test and tendencies there. So I want to get taxi down the center of the runway here. It happens really fast. There's our rotation speed, which is about 55 knots. I'm going to pull back, and now we're airborne. So it's actually pretty easy. Again, the whole thing here is just using light touches on the controls. You don't have to have a real tight grip on the control yoke. You're just pulling back ever so slightly. So let's do that again. I'm going to do Alt 2 here. And here again, we're at Reedsburg, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to tap my parking brake to disable it. And now I'm going to apply full power here. So again, it's usually like within 1 or 2 to 3 seconds that it should take you to push the throttle all the way. And we don't want to just shove it in. That's hard on the engine. The engine itself is a mass of rotating parts, and anytime you go ahead and cause a massive change in it, it causes stress on it. So we're going to do it very gently. Basically, within 2 to 3 seconds, we're going to apply full power. All right, so again, we'll hold down the brakes here. I'll run up our engine here. We can see our RPM climbing about 1,500 right there. Okay, we're looking good there. Now I'm going to release the brakes and apply full power. 1001, 1002. We've got full power, and now I'm going to try to track that center line. I don't want to really stray from that too much here, so I want to stay on that center line. We're looking at our airspeed indicator right here. When that reaches about 55, we're going to start pulling back on our control yoke. Here we go. Pull back, and we're airborne. And again, light touches on the controls. This is true in real life as it is in the sim. These sims are just fantastic. The physics are just amazing in them. Anyway, we'll climb out at about 80 to 90 knots there. So let's go ahead and trim our aircraft so I don't have to constantly hold this back. I'm going to trim the airplane. Oops, a little bit too much there, so I'm going to trim that back. I want to get my airspeed set to about 80 to 90 knots there, so somewhere in there. Here we go. All right, and now notice once I get it set, I can let go of my hands, I'll let the yoke go, and the aircraft is still going to fly at that altitude. Now all I have to do is just, maybe bank it a little bit to straighten it out a little bit there. So, and we can always, if we want to climb out a little bit faster, I can trim the nose down just a little bit and watch what happens to our airspeed when I do that. It's slowly going to pick up here. There, you can see it start to climb a little bit there. If I want to climb a little bit faster, I might want to go ahead, or at a steeper angle that is, I might want to raise the nose a little bit, but notice what it does to our airspeed. When we increase our nose angle or pitch angle, the airspeed decreases. So there's a trade-off there. All right, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you at AirVenture.